Hello, my name is Reyna. I am a teacher with over 15 years of experience. I'm also a proud student of Texas Women's University in the Masters of Reading Education program. Today, I want to talk to you about keeping readers engaged. Wait, what? A Scantron? This is likely not the image that came to your mind when I said I was going to talk about keeping readers engaged. No, state standardized tests are not engaging, but I do want to talk for just a moment about the effects that they have on our readers. The sad truth is that these state standardized tests put a lot of pressure on teachers, pressure for teachers to make sure their students perform well on these tests. And what does that mean for classroom practices? It means that many teachers rely on practices that center around test taking. And what happens when instruction centers around the state test? Students become disengaged. But the negative effects don't stop there. When the goal of reading instruction is to do well on the test, students may infer incorrect and damaging messages about reading. When reading instruction centers around the state tests, students may infer that comprehension strategies are controlled by the teacher and used to prove answers, that comprehension is about agreeing with an authoritative interpretation, or that answering questions correctly is the way to prove comprehension. Which of those messages do you want your readers to walk away with? I'm guessing you choose D, none of the above. We want our readers to know that reading is about finding out new information, gaining new perspectives, and exploring the world around us. Encouraging students to be curious about the world around them through student led inquiry is a great way to boost comprehension while also increasing motivation and helping students to gain new content knowledge and vocabulary. As students engage in the inquiry process, they are practicing critical reading skills that are especially useful in expository texts. When engaging in inquiry, students must learn how to preview the text and make predictions, use their background knowledge, ask and answer questions, visualize, make inferences, and summarize text. So, inquiry is one method of engaging readers. Now, let's explore other ways to teach students vital comprehension skills while also fueling a love for reading through meaningful and authentic experiences. Schools across the country have growing populations of wonderfully diverse students. How can we as educators engage each of them and tap into their interests? Let's start by assuming we are using a wide variety of multimodal texts, because that's a topic for another presentation. Right. So now what to do with the wonderful and diverse texts we are reading with our students? How are we having students respond to those texts? What kind of reader responses encourage deep and reflective thinking? Yep, the duck has the answer. QUAC is an acronym for reading response prompts. For example, Q could be for question, U for underline, A, act, C, connect, and K is a Kodak moment or a visual for the text. Other strategies for reader response include incorporating visuals such as symbols, drawings, or illustrations. Transmediation, or transferring meaning from one system to another, is a complex process and strengthens comprehension. Hey, bring on the crayons! If we want to develop readers who truly interact with the texts they read, they must have the opportunities to freely interpret the text and share their interpretations with others. What if the students were the ones asking questions about the text, not just the teacher? If we want students to take on the complex thinking skills required for deep comprehension, we must give back some control to the students. Let them take the driver's seat. We can sit along on the passenger side, ready to give directions and help steer along the way. Sticking with the driving metaphor for a moment longer, we want to be sure that as we drive along the reading road, our paths lead to reading opportunities and responses that connect to students' own experiences as well as showing alternative viewpoints. All of the reading responses should lead to rich classroom discussions. Students should be encouraged to share their perspectives as well as learn from and appreciate other perspectives. Yes, students will still need to use text evidence to support their reasoning, but they do not have to settle on one correct interpretation. Okay, time for some summary and reflection. So we can all agree that we want to do what's best for our students. I think this means we must shift our focus away from the state tests and back to what really matters: meaningful and authentic experiences to engage with texts. Let's have students take ownership of their reader responses and let them share and discuss with their peers. This sends a message to students that all of their interpretations matter and that comprehension is not static, it's fluid. This is really more than just engaging readers in our classroom. It's about building the readers who will go out into the world and seek different viewpoints, find multiple perspectives, ask questions, and not just seek the one right answer. Thank you.